Hello, my friend. Welcome to the garden. If you're new around here, my name is Kelsey, and today I'm going to take you on a tour of my backyard homestead. So my husband Matt and I, we started homesteading about 7 years ago now. I had some pretty serious health issues come up that required a drastic lifestyle change and also a diet change, and I needed access to organic produce and some meat that was actually affordable, which is hard to come by. So I figured, why not just learn how to do it myself? We had also learned a lot, and we wanted to get away from relying on the fragile man-made systems. We also wanted to gain more knowledge and skills to help our own family, but also to help those around us. And this girl, after having 2 kids and going from working outside of the home to staying home full time, I needed a hobby. This garden has provided a creative outlet for me. It's really been a place of healing and a place of peace. It's also a learning space for our whole family, and it produces a ton of food that I preserve and transform in various ways to nourish our bodies well. This space has transformed a whole lot since we started. Every year we expand. We've changed things up as we learn what works well for us here in our space with our climate and our soil. I have discovered what my style actually is, how I enjoy growing, and what we actually enjoy eating. This garden is a labor of love. It has been a lot of work, but it's the best kind of work. It's something we're really proud of and thankful for. It is a huge blessing, and I hope that this can be an encouragement to anyone working with a small space that you can do a lot with a little. So let me show you all that we produce here on our 1/4 acre homestead. I'm gonna start in the back here with our meat birds. So we raise Cornish cross. We've been raising them probably for the last 4 years, since 2021, and we do 1 to 2 batches a year, 1 in the spring and 1 in the fall, but we've been trying to just raise more at one time, so we only have to do the process once. So like I said, we're on a 1/4 acre, so we don't have a whole lot of space to work with. The front is occupied for growing the food. We have this small plot in the back here that we use to move our chicken tractor around for about 3 to 4 weeks after they come out from the brooder. We have to feed them a lot because they're not getting any supplementation. There's no pasture or grass here for them to really, make a dent in their feed. They get a little bit, but it's still more affordable than us going to a grocery store to find an organic chicken, which is really hard to actually even find around here. And the local farms, the prices they're asking, it's just more than we can afford. It's about $20 to $26 a bird. That's just not doable here on our income. So we grow our own. We end up with 6 to 8 pound birds. That translates to roughly 200 to 250 pounds of finished bird in the freezer, which is awesome. I think it's totally worth it. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to handle it, but it's really not that bad. You don't get attached to them because they're really bred for meat only. They're not personable, and they're honestly quite ugly. They're really stinky. So it's not as hard as I thought it would be, and we do everything we can to make sure they have a good short life. These birds, however, are very personable and are honestly members of our family. My children love them. They're out here with them every day. They add such a wonderful ambiance to our property. I wouldn't trade them for anything. It's so much fun to just come out and sit and watch them and listen to them. I love when they sing the song of their people. So we have 14 layers. You got eggs? Okay, could you take them inside for me?
Come here.
Come here? Okay, hold on. I love pretty eggs. They bring me so much joy. The simple things. So like I was saying, we have 14 layers. On average right now, we're getting about 12 eggs a day, which is more than what we need as a family of 4. So I end up giving a whole bunch away. I could sell them, but I just prefer to give them away and bless other people. I am not a chicken expert. So if you ask me some questions, I may or may not have an answer for you. We haven't really had any issues. They've been super easy for us, and we love having them. So during this season, garden season, they are not allowed out unsupervised because they would tear up my garden. So unless Eleanor is out here and is watching them, they stay inside their run. But they love it. They're very happy chickens. Just some quick background for you. So my husband and I and our 2 small children, we live in South Central Pennsylvania, again on a 1/4 acre. We are in the country, but we're in town. We're on a main road, so you're gonna hear some noise from the road. You'll see that as we move around. We're in zone 6B. That doesn't matter too much unless we're talking perennials. So my first frost in the fall is usually mid-October, and then my last frost in the spring is about the 2nd week of May. I think this year it was May the 10th. We had some really warm weather early on, so I actually planted a little bit sooner than that. So this is my raised bed garden. It is devoted to mainly food, some medicinal herbs, and some culinary herbs. I just recently switched to all raised bed gardening when it comes to food. I had hoped I could make in-ground work. I loved no dig, but it kind of worked. Things grew, but they didn't thrive, and I knew I could make things thrive. We have very heavy clay soil. I tried my hardest to make it work and amend the soil, but the things that we love and that also grow really well for us, which are root veggies, just weren't loving the heavy clay soil. So we switched to raised beds, and I'm so glad we did. I love raised bed gardening. In this space, I have 20 raised beds and a variety of things growing, some perennial flowers, some annuals, like I said, food, herbs, medicinal herbs, lots of stuff. So let me take you through bed by bed here quickly and show you what I've got going on. So in my back 2 beds, I just have some cut flowers this year, a variety of different snapdragons and zinnias. There's a volunteer potato in there too. Let it go. I figured, why not? And then over here, I have another volunteer potato. I put in some honeywort down here. I love these. I call these Tinkerbell flowers. They're so pretty. And here I have some peas. They're flowering now. And I did see some little pea pods. They haven't really formed the peas inside yet, though. These are really just garden snacks and for fresh eating. I don't love pressure canned peas. Frozen peas, I like. I just try and not do a whole lot of freezing because I run out of freezer space pretty quickly. So we do a lot of fresh eating during garden season. In the other section of that bed, I just have a variety of onions, which, again, if you have been following along, every year I get the allium leaf miner. That, you can tell, has happened because of the way these get all crinkly and gnarly and twisty. It's just a thing that happens here in PA, and every year I am hopeful that it will not hit, and every year it does. So we'll see what comes of these. Sometimes they survive, sometimes they don't. Okay, walking through the first archway, this is a David Austin rose. Don't worry, for my longtime viewers, we're gonna go through and we're gonna look at all the roses together. But we're gonna go through here and go to the next beds. So I've got 3 zucchini in here. I have some cucamelons on this trellis. In here I have some of the special potatoes that I got. I ordered from, what was it? Prairie Farms, something like that. But I splurged this year and I got a few fun varieties to try. Over here, again, more potatoes, another fun variety. I don't really remember what the varieties are, sorry. And then we've got some cucumber growing on this guy. In this long 10-foot bed, I have all of my carrots. They're looking lush and beautiful. Then here I have some of my peppers and tomatoes. I also have my loofah gourds growing here. Everything is a little bit stunted at the moment. We've been having some abnormally cool temps. Usually we don't get much of a spring. This year it decided to actually be spring. So we've had some nighttime temps in the low 40s, and peppers and tomatoes and gourds, they do not love that, but they will recover. On this side, we've got some leeks, some more peas, some more random carrots. I did some atomic red and some black nebula in here. And this lush patch here is some turnips. Okay, moving to the back one more time here. Wanted to show you from the back all of my potato beds. I have 3 4x8 beds full of potatoes. These are the ones that I had grown and saved seed for. They are starting to flower. So once they do flower, they have ceased flowering. In about 3 weeks, you can harvest new potatoes, or you can let the plants completely yellow and die back, and then you'll have some better storage potatoes. Looking forward to these. I don't have any more left now. Making our way up, I've got another type of cucumber here. I had cucumber blindness at the greenhouse the other day. I came home with like 5 different types of cucumbers, and we don't really even eat that many cucumbers, so I'm gonna have a lot to give away. These here, again, these are shallots, and you can just see how gnarly all of the leaves are. It is what it is. Up at the front, I've got more leeks. I have a few random beets. I did not have good germination, and I have yet to come out and resow some seeds. That's on my to-do list. I have some okra that popped up here, some more peas here. I tried to put peas in wherever I could. We really love garden peas. They're super sweet. Then over here, we've got some cabbage. They're already starting to get eaten. I did not cover these like I should have. But, you know, in my garden, I'm kind of a hands-off gardener. It's like survival of the fittest out here. Some more fun potatoes. Oh, and then I have my passion flower here. This is a medicinal, and it's just beautiful. The pollinators love it. It's gonna take over this entire trellis and it'd be beautiful. I don't see any flowers on it right now. Again, it's been too cold. That's a tropical. And I also have some honey nut squash. They're like little butternut squash here as well. Should probably try and take off this big cabbage leaf so it can get some sun. I'm all about high intensity planting, if you haven't noticed. I just shove things in wherever I can and pray it all works. And usually it does, and I end up with a really good harvest. Okay, last 2 beds up here in the front, I've got a whole bunch of lettuce, which still looks really good. I did a variety of slow bolt lettuce this year, and plus we're having these cool days, so it has just been loving it. It is absolutely sweet and delicious. Again, some more peas. This is a different variety that should actually grow up tall and take over this trellis. The other ones only get to about 24 inches high. And then I've got my little celery patch here. And then over here, this one's a little bit sparse. I still have some space that I am slowly adding in, but I've got some kale. I've got, these are supposed to be sweet peas, and they're really struggling. They're on the struggle bus. I'm not sure if anything will become of them. So when I was at the greenhouse, I saw some of these black-eyed Susan vine, and I've never grown them before, and I just thought they looked lovely and very cottagey. So they're hopefully going to take over this trellis, because I highly doubt those guys will. Feverfew, a random cabbage I needed a spot for, and again, some really gnarly looking onions and lavender. All right, so I showed you these potatoes, and then up here, I've got my little rhubarb patch. I've got some more cabbage that needed a home, some more feverfew, and oh look, something I never planted. Can you even call yourself a homesteader if you don't have random plants laying around your yard that should have been planted and you forgot about? This is a ground cherry. I'll have to do that then. Then we've got my herb bed. I did put a lot of herbs together. I just liked how they looked this year. Now, all of that in there, that's all weeds. Don't look at that. We've got some variegated oregano, some holy basil, or Tulsi. Sorry, couldn't think of the word. And then some triple curled leaf parsley, 2 of those. I've got a whole bunch of rosemary in here. There. Rosemary, some marjoram. That is pineapple sage. I've got some chives, some Genovese basil, which is looking burnt. We've had a lot of rain and then random sun, so yay for tender leaves. Not loving that. Toothache plant over there, and some just regular old oregano. And then I've got, so this is not one that I grew from seed. Let me grab the tag here for you. That is what it is called, Caracello Baris cucumber. So these, it says if you pick them while they're young, they're gonna taste like a cucumber. But if you let them ripen and turn yellow on the vine, they'll taste like a sweet melon. So that just intrigued me. That was also part of the cucumber blindness. But yeah, I'm interested to see how these taste. This is bone set, another medicinal that I love. Another rose, which we'll get to in a second. And then I've got my big strawberry patch. So this is the newest bed. Still looking pretty sparse, but it will look like this in another season. So they grow and spread exponentially, but we've got lots and lots of strawberries, which I'm always so thankful for. My kids eat these right up. This is our front plot here, right next to our house. And this is home to all of my raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries over there. And then I have this random bed of potatoes. These are all fingerling potatoes, looking good. So I've got, these are my yellow and coral raspberries. So in the front here, I have double gold. These are all a beautiful kind of coral color, salmon color maybe. And then I only have about a third of this with the Ann variety, and these are a true gold. These and the double gold are my favorite. They are so sweet. They're very prickly though. Down the center here, this is on its first year. I transplanted these in the fall, and I've got some Joan Jay raspberries here. These are thornless, super sweet as well, and they're really big raspberries. And then here I have 5 blackberries. I wasn't sure if they were going to do anything this year, but it looks like they might bud up a little bit. And then this side I've got more Joan Jay. Most of these here are Joan Jay, and then you'll see, maybe you'll see a difference. These leaves are different here. These are the Royalty Purple, I believe is what they are called, and they're super dark purple raspberries, and they are absolutely delicious. Actually, these might be my favorite, and they're very prolific. And then the last thing up front here is my blueberry patch. I have 14 blueberry bushes, a variety of varieties. I've got some pink lemonade ones here that I just planted last year, and I did see just a couple little berries going on there. But over here, I mean, these are looking pretty good. These are on their 3rd year. We've got some nice clusters I'm looking forward to. So hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks, these usually come in June. This is just a kind of a work in progress. So those real big trees there, those are arborvitae that were never maintained. We had a whole row of them here. We took them down, put up a fence, and we planted an orchard. I have 6 fruit trees in here. I've got some comfrey, which is ginormous. I didn't know it was going to get that big, and now I regret my decision. You live and you learn. So I've got peach tree here, which hasn't done anything this year, and I know I probably need to prune this differently, but they're on their 1st year. This fall I will do better. I've got an apple tree, which has nothing on it. I have a rose, I've got some speedwell. This is another apple tree, and I think there's just a couple, but we've got some leaf curl going on here. This isn't good. It might be overspray from the farmers behind us, but a couple apples on there. I've got hydrangea. I've got a pear. There are a couple little pears on here. And then more speedwell, more rose, elderberry. Okay, another thing, I had no idea it was going to get this big. It is kind of unsightly. Really, no clue it was going to do that. And it has just taken off in the last year. Like, it was just like a small little shrub last year, and now it's just this mammoth. Okay, moving on. And then we've got some more pears. This one is looking good. There's a few little clusters. Again, ginormous comfrey. Bad decision. And some more elderberry. Obviously the pollinating variety here. I love elderflower though. Isn't it just stunning? Looks like lace work. I love it. Plum tree hasn't done anything. Then we've got my transplanted asparagus from the raised bed garden. So I wasn't sure I was gonna get anything from this year, and I was kind of afraid I killed them, but I did not kill them. So we still have some spares shooting up here. It's kind of a short season for asparagus. And I always let some fronds come up here so it can photosynthesize and the plant can grow and spread. So I've got these 2 beds here. And then if we walk back to the back of the property, I have my grapevine back here. This is just a white grape. I, again, don't remember the variety, but look at all these babies. That's super exciting. This is such a sweet grape. I got my first harvest off of it last year. It wasn't much, but boy, was it yummy. So I'm excited to see there's just so many clusters. All right, over here, we've got my tomatoes. Some are looking okay, some are looking a little stunted, like these guys here. They are crying out for help. Again, it's just been a little chilly and they're not loving it, but they will recover. So I've got, I think 16 tomatoes and a whole bunch of weeds and junk back there. Don't look at that. Yeah, 16 tomatoes. I have some paste and I have some slicers. And then the ones in the raised bed garden, those are cherry tomatoes for salads. And I always save my favorite for last. Truly, I love this space. So I've got my little seating area because you can't have a garden and not a place to sit and enjoy it. That's a must in every garden. I've got these 2 little beds in at the seating area. So I've got some currants, feverfew, getting ready to bud. And then this one over here, oh, pineapple mint. Got a gooseberry here. This one hasn't done anything. This is its 2nd year, so yeah. And then it's peony season. I don't know what all these varieties are because they were given to me. Beautiful, they smell so good. This pink salvia is just about done, but the bees are still getting every last bit out of it that they can. I've got a volunteer hollyhock from last year. Excuse my children yelling. This beauty, all the roses. The roses, maybe we should have our rose segment now. Still lots more roses that haven't bloomed yet. They'll be coming in the next week or 2, so I'll keep you posted. Lots of volunteer calendula and strawberry runners. I've got some ladies' mantle here. All of these dark purpley things here, this is copper plume. Those are just volunteer self-seeded from last year. Some speedwell there, or Veronica. This is Homestead wood. That's a David Austin that has not bloomed yet. We've got some pink astilbe in there, some more ladies' mantle, some foxglove that are just starting to push up their spikes, some black-eyed Susan here. I did plant some cosmos. I have a bunch of annuals that are just tiny in here, but give it a month and everything will be looking really lush. This here is delphinium, and something happened to it. Again, I don't know if this is overspray from the farm field behind us, but all of the blossoms look funky. Like, that's super fasciated. Not really sure happened there. Basketball, another David Austin, not blooming quite yet. We've got lots of lavender and chamomile framing in the arch. Again, some random annuals in there. I love salvias, so I have a few different shades of purple in here. I've got some pink speedwell in there. More spikes getting ready here. Another peony here. I think this one is called Sarah. Is it Bernhardt or something like that? That's on its way out here. And the rain really destroys the blooms. More foxglove, more Sweet Annie. This one here is Charles Darwin from David Austin. More salvia. This delphinium here looks good. This looks normal. So this is, I believe, a bright blue one. I've got a whole bunch of echinacea in the back here. And then I have this rose, obelisk. This one is Bathsheba. Again, not quite blooming, but I am seeing some buds here start to color up. And then over here behind the magnificent Olivia rose, I've got some more echinacea, calendula, delphinium, coreopsis. That is a type of sage there. I've got two types. Let me move back here a little bit. Sorry if I'm shaking. Two types of foxglove. They're in there. This is the new rose that we got together. Litchfield Angel, I believe, by David Austin. Some cosmos, lupin that is done. I've got some more foxglove all in around here. Lamb's ear. I have some larkspur in here. And then this is my other peony here. Again, I don't know the name of this one. Really beautiful. Some more pink salvia and lots more strawberries. All right, there is Cottage Garden last week of May. You can do a lot with a little. You don't have to wait for that nice chunk of land to start. Do what you can with what you have, no matter how small. Steward it well and enjoy all it offers. I hope this video encouraged and inspired. If you did enjoy it, I have a whole bunch of playlists. I will link some down in the description and on the screen here in a moment that will better instruct you on how to get started and how to use the harvest. Many blessings, my friend. Until next time, take care.